Hi everyone, welcome to day 7 of our Battle of the Poets project. So the first thing I have for you today is the results of our poll. You guys voted, and you had to decide between I Carry Your Heart With Me, I Carry It In by E.E. Cummings and Vespers by Louise Glick. Again, very close race, but Vespers by Louise Glick has won. So you'll be seeing some more of her poetry in our round 2 matchups. So today I have for you our new poet, which is a woman named Gwendolyn Brooks. Gwendolyn Brooks lived from 1917 to the year 2000, and she is known for being the first Black author to ever win the Pulitzer Prize. She was an author who lived most of her life in the North. She actually grew up in Chicago, and she served as the state poet laureate for Illinois. And a lot of her work, like Maya Angelou's that we looked at earlier, was about talking about racial tensions and her experiences as a Black woman. She was able to kind of bridge the divide between a lot of the very sort of academically minded poets of like the early 1900s and the poetry that emerged in the later half of the 1900s that tended to be more of a social commentary. So there was a shift that we saw in poetry moving from the beginning to the end of the 19th century. And once you learn a little bit more about literature, you'll start to see that divide between modern and postmodern, which happens right around 1945. So Gwendolyn Brooks straddled that divide. So her poetry is really interesting because it is definitely modern, but she's able to combine some of the traditional poetic elements with some of the new thoughts and ideas. So a lot of her poems have something to do with relationships between the races. She often focused on the lifestyles of Black urban poor, and you know, her stories, they are stories in a way, because her poems often tell a story, and they're very heartfelt, but she was able to represent both of those things in her poetry. So I have for you today a poem called We Real Cool. And this is a poem I've actually taught to, I think, every class I've ever taught. So any of my former students who are watching, you're going to recognize this. And I like it because I think it speaks to youthfulness, but it has, it's very simple, but it has a lot of surprises in it too. So I have for you We Real Cool by Gwendolyn Brooks. The Pool Players, 7 at the Golden Shuffle. We real cool, we left school, we lurk late, we strike straight, we sing sin, we fin gin, we jazz June, we die soon. So that was We Real Cool by Gwendolyn Brooks. So tune in tomorrow. We're going to be taking a look at another new poet, and we'll have another round of voting. Thank you for joining us. I hope you guys have a great rest of the day.